Welcome back to the Fox 9 Game Room, everybody. I'm your host, Pierre Nugent. Many of us probably know an individual or a family that has left their home country in order to pursue their dreams here in the United States. And in the world of esports, it's no different. Some pro players as young as 16 are moving to the U.S. in order to pursue their esports careers. And while it's scary, most of them say it's well worth it. And where are you from?
I'm from Denmark.
I'm from Plymouth, United Kingdom.
I'm from Scotland, Edinburgh, Scotland.
I'm from Spain.
I'm from England.
Make some noise for the Minnesota ROKKR!
Gaming is worldwide. You can play it anywhere. But why did you want to pursue a career in the U.S.?
Because here is the biggest league in the world. If you want to be to be playing at the highest level, you have to be here, living here.
To be in the big leagues, you got to move over, you got to compete against the best, and this is where the best are. So I had to pack all myself up and move.
And Boston have done such a great job to get this a little bit contested. At one point, ROKKR had everything in the bag.
There's not really any competition in Europe, and then obviously it was mainly dominant in NA, so some European teams already started moving over to North America at that point, so I kind of had an idea, like this is what you have to do, and I mean, I was all for it.
When you tell your family, I'm moving to America to pursue my professional Call of Duty League dreams, what do they say?
They started crying. They weren't happy. I wasn't really all for it, you know, moving away from your family at, I think I was like 20, and your fiance. It's just not a fun thing to do, really. I don't think many people understand like what you actually go through in terms of like missing them and just not being with your support.
Wasn't scary at all?
Oh yeah, it was terrifying.
Why?
I lived so far away from anyone that was like part of my support system before I got here. So like I miss my dad and I miss my sisters, but I guess in the end it's worth it.
What makes it worth it?
Well, winning is pretty cool. And also it's like a lot of cool experiences, and I get to travel around a lot and like see a bunch of cool shit. Yeah. Can I say shit?
What was it like being so young and moving to a new country?
I think it's mainly the accent. People don't really understand my accent, so when I have to order things at just even like a restaurant or anywhere like that, I have to say things differently. For example, water. Some people don't understand when I say water, I say water. I have to say that. I've said it multiple times.
Is it harder to be noticed by, you know, the higher ups, I guess, in the gaming community as a European, or do they find you pretty easily?
No, I think it's definitely tough. I think it's maybe not tough to get noticed, but it's tough to actually get the final job done and getting like visas. It takes a lot of work to get a European over to the north, like to NA. But
is that a hurdle? Do you think? Like for them, would they could you possibly be passed up for a spot on a competitive roster because it might be easier just to bring in an American for so to speak?
No, yeah, 100%. That's the thing that frustrates me the most. I think is like I've had a lot of friends which have been very talented from Europe and say they've had maybe one opportunity that hasn't gone too well, or maybe it has gone well, but they've then not been able to get a visa, and then a North American team's just gone like, okay, well this North American player's okay, we don't have to deal with all the stresses, it's cheaper getting him, let's just get him.
This is capture or kill.
Is there a difference in gameplay at all from Europeans to Americans in terms of Call of Duty? Have you noticed that at all?
Yeah, I noticed in the European community, the playstyle in game is so much frenetic, and here in the United States, it's smarter, but it's not really smarter. The gameplay is slowly.
More like a tactical kind of thing? Okay.
More like a team working.
What do you miss most about home?
I miss the food.
The food?
My mom's home-cooked food, I think.
You play on a team with 2 other internationals. Yep. Is it helpful to have somebody on the team that's from over that kind of knows what you're going through?
I mean, yeah, obviously they understand it. They have their sacrifices as well, so having someone to relate to is obviously great.
I'm definitely it gets a bit longer to know me, if you know what I mean, but no, I think having other people that I actually related to was definitely a big help, and someone that I could actually chill with, people that I could chill with, Not that I didn't speak to the Americans or whatnot, but it's
Right.
just easier to speak to those people.
You mentioned that your family has sacrificed a lot. You have sacrificed a lot. Like, what would make it worth it?
What will make it worth it? Winning a world championship. I feel like I've been chasing that for so long. Fell short twice, 2 second places, both just as heartbreaking. That's the one thing I want, and I'll look back and think that was worth it for me now.
When you call quits, whenever that may be, do you plan to go back to the UK?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going back.
So I'm going straight home. There's
You're going
nothing like home.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going straight home. I need a lot of catching up to do when I'm done. A lot of catching up to do.